Here we go. District Court, courtroom number 4. So I think this is where we actually get right into the actual court case, or at least the trial for the Will Powers. As we know, he didn't do it. It's usually how it goes. He didn't do it. We're just gonna have to try to prove that he didn't do it, though. Now, I'm glad that. Oh shit. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move to our testimony. Bro, am I streaming on Twitch or what's going on? I'm so confused. Sorry, I'm pausing for a second. Okay, cool. Everything's good. Okay. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the Studio C. This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the movie, or during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is the gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here is Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now on the day of the murder, October 15th, there was only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in, I thought it was in. We're in, I guess. We're in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear it again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? I'm good. We're gonna cross-examine it. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. I think I got the voices for the judge and Gumshoe confused. That's my bad. Samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor, this case is quite simple. If you ask one question, and that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. I like this song. Alright, here we go. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie. No need for you to be so embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edward has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names. Wendy Oldback, dearie. Wendy Old... Oh, shit, she's talking really fast. I can't... Okay. She is losing her mind. I can't keep up with that. Objection. I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, say I was. Yes, say? That's weird. And to get... Oh, shit. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Here we go. Am I cross-examining this, or am I just reading? I'm just reading, okay. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 o'clock, or 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers. That man right there, and he was headed toward the studio. So we need to prove somehow that Will Powers was not the one who went into the studio. That's our goal here. Okay. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. So I already know what we gotta do. We gotta find a way. So, I think I know exactly where we have to present, or where we have to press her on, right? Right when she talks about she saw him going through. Now, the murder happened at 2:30, right? Okay. Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by at 2 p.m. Present. Here we go. Let me get this straight, old bag, Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? It's just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai Defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyway, anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai, but that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in the court is accusing you of that, Mr. Witness. He's having trouble calling her old back apparently. However, you do not have to prove that the person in the photo, Oh, okay, he's asked the question. You do not have to prove that the person is in the photo is Mr. Powers, Will Powers, right? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. Fucking wrong button. Here we go. The prosecution would like to ask the witness. He's gonna say ask the old bag, okay. Please make known of all information in your possession ahead of time. How was I supposed to know everyone was being so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you.
Anyway, I showed the photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. I didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old bag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Here we go. Of course.
I never say anything I don't mean, or mind you. That morning, during the run-through of this action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at the picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So, someone's trying to imitate. We're trying to imply that someone's imitating Will Powers. Okay. So we had a sprained ankle, or his ankle sprained, whatever. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Here we go.
Okay. I never say anything I don't mean. Whippersnapper?
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today always whining about each other. It's annoying. Okay.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has made his match.
That morning was the run-through of the next action scene.
Okay.
I saw Powers trip and fall.
Okay. Press on that. Trip and fall?
Yes. And to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
Press. He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear, the murder weapon.
Luckily I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. So it was broken and they had to put duct. Okay. So that probably can't even be the murder weapon either, is what they're trying to tell me.
Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Object.
Hold it right there. We keep talking about possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows a Steel Samurai. Nowhere in the photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if anyone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammond. We have to consider the possibility also. No. Then allow me to remove the doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Here we go. Continued.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30, true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. If she didn't see She says she saw Will Powers. No one else could have gone. If she did see them go before, she would have seen them. Whatever. She didn't see Jackhammer go then. That's exactly what that means. Okay. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be still Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. I gotta press her on that. Because she said she would have saw him if they went. So that's not it. Only person who saw her go to the studio before. Okay. I gotta press you on that. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite sunny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there. Press. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everybody was in the employee area before then, and I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Hold it. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy. Old windbag. How to do her voice again? Old windbag sure has balls. Well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, huh? Okay. The time of... Okay, so we gotta do this again. No one else went there. No, I didn't mean to do that. I already read that. Yeah. Go back. I gotta present something, I think, right here. Right? Jacks up Topsy. Just by a spear. Guide map to Global Studios. Card key for Studio 1 in front of Studio 1. Dragging one leg. Blah, blah, blah. What about this one? This is wrong, isn't it? The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can't see nothing faulty. No. Oh, not the deduction. No. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. I pressed her on everything. I don't know. I have to present something, I'm pretty sure. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. That is correct. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. I think I gotta present this again, right? Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. The studio was taken by, this photo was taken by the camera at the gate of the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from your hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo was printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. photo 2. Even I know what that means. It was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo 2. Photo 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was the only photo? Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that. Order. Please tell the court
Yeah, please tell the court, what do you mean by this, Mr. Wright?
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one but two people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data from the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means two people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled, computer thingies. Edgy boy, help?
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know, what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, old bag? Oh, something the matter, old bag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate, someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
Sigh, I see. Why did I read sigh? I'm supposed to read that. I'm supposed to make the noise. My bad. Your testimony, please. The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duty services, or my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera and check them. I throw away any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
This old bag. This is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
I'd say this was a turn I'd say this was a term for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Here we go. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do.
One other job?
That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes, but those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces. For the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Old Bag. Well, I didn't touch the suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Well, who in the heck was in the photo you erased? A fanboy? A fanboy? Still samurai fanboys, real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one can get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate was or has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and They're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on that photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What?
Order, order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was a steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Yeah, oh yes, well, we see this type, there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I suppose it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear. Impossible? I'd think it's quite heavy. Right, so I said, I didn't pay him much mind. Okay, she should just ignore him. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That means he's a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information and no forgetting vital information this time.
Oh, we can't object to that? Dang it, dude. October 18th, 11:08 or 11:08 a.m. Mr. Powers. Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in the dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio.
I was sleeping, honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in the security photo?
How could I, or how should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room.
Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. I was off there for a second.
So where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good.
You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are you going to do? What are we going to do?
First, we play for more time.
We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sound like that.
Oh shit, we gotta go back in. So that's what they mean by recess, so we just come right back in afterwards?
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right, great. As if stakes weren't high enough.
So who was the person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder?
Assistant girl? No. Grade school boy? No. Security lady? We're gonna have to go with the grade school. We have to. We gotta say it. It was the grade school boy. Why isn't anyone saying anything? Bah! Are you seriously suggesting the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran action star with a spear? For one thing, the murder weapon was still the Steel Samurai. Oh, the murder victim was still the Steel Samurai. Would you care to explain just how a boy would have obtained it from him? Oh, yeah, he had it himself. Maybe that was a dumb move on my part. Maybe. How about absolutely, Nick? Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I'm going to penalize you as I warned. What? Nobody knows the trouble I'm seeing. May we move on, Mr. Wright? This fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, give me one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. Who is the person who, other than Mr. Powers, could have killed? It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it in this year's doing, or she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in this picture is really the assistant? That is correct, Your Honor. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo. Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh, bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury? Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me? What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing about Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai, or she could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't have walked the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped. Ugh. That kind of takes the legs from under that case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I'm going to penalize you as I want. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, man. Santa Claus, bro. Come on, man. We're not in the naughty list, man. Come on. You only got one more option, bro. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they have been watching the action seen run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about that injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What, whippersnapper? I didn't critically think about that before choosing my options. That's why I got them wrong. Order. Is this true? Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through this trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take a picture of her. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent detective reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here, Sherlock Holmes too, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edward pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection or some new damning evidence? Well, Edgeworth, does the prosecution have any opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objection at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? So you think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't you just sit there. Don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this one. Yeah. Press farther. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case maybe can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag, it's Oldbag, but anyway, Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went into the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased.
Oh. He's only a grade schooler, though. As you said, second or third grade, wasn't it?
That doesn't matter. When I was at that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
The boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnappers? I have proof.
Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Oh, fuck.
The boy didn't know about the broken leg, right? Oh, wait, no. You have to be an employee to get into Studio 1. It's gotta be that. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a key card to enter Studio 1. How could the boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The windbag is speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will be suspended proceeding with the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Mr. Wendy. What was her name?
Something old bag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
So Will Powers may be innocent? Wait a second. I'm just gonna sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree, me. I'm talking. Aw, snap. Oh, great. So, stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Do you mean it wasn't Edwards who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Oh, come on. This lady doesn't give up. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me that, or to pretend that they hadn't been in the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away with getting off scot-free. I suck at reading.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the courtroom until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of Oldbag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
My lips were sealed. So you gotta press her on everything. Press her? So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. Press her again. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Well, yes, I was surprised no one asked about it. Oh, so where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after all. Where? Oh, on the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Yeah, they didn't mention that, but we knew there was a second studio. We can see it on the sign in the picture of the fallen statue. But anyways, Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. If you go through the main gate, or if you go through the gate and all the way to the left, the path where the monkey's head had fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue your cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but let's continue. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it, and they gave me a little bonus on the side. So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have. We're gonna continue. I guess there's no harm in getting as much information as I can. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. Studios on the day of murder. There were some other people on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it. See, they told me they wanted to pretend they hadn't been in the studios all day. But if you're going to be accusing me, I'm not letting them get off scot-free. They hadn't been in the studios all day. They were actually in the studio. Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. I'll kill this woman, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. She really left him hanging on this one. Okay, so can we present anything at all? Let's see what we got going on. It's like spear of the murder weapon. Wait, so who fixed the staff? They had nothing to do with it, see? But who fixed the spear? Well, there's only... We check the guide map. Employee area. Oh, shit. Can I present this? That doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. Fuck, dude. No! Come on! Fuck. Like, they're saying they had nothing to do with it, but they messed with the staff. Is that it? Do I just let it go? There were some other people in the studios on the day of the murder. What if I present, I don't know. I know I'm gonna get it wrong. Alright, hold on. I gotta save. Because I don't know how far back it's gonna take me if I fail. Murder, they said they had nothing to do with it. Can I present the spear? Is this gonna do something? It doesn't. Fuck, I failed. Dude, this is tough. They're gonna find him guilty, aren't they? What? That doesn't make any sense. Come on. Fuck. Now I gotta start over. It's a good thing I freaking saved. There were some other people in the studios on the day of the murder. And they hadn't been in the studios all day. Wait a minute. They hadn't been in the studios all day. Can we talk about the photos? When the photos of taking pictures of them going to the studios? Can I present the photo? Free. What if I just let it go? Here we go. Just press them. Who were these people? Whether the director and the producer for Star. Okay, yeah. Talked about this, of course. Shoot trailer. Look at the guy at Studio 2. Go to the game, go straight to the left. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we good. Your Honor, we have learned there were others in the global studios for the day of the question. Okay, so there was no, I didn't need to go ahead and do that. Okay. Yes, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people who we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is adjourned. So we gotta go meet these other people who are involved, huh? October 18th, 1:04 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Oh, really? It's nothing, Grin. It's nothing. Or should I... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. I have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Wind Oldbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor Wind Oldbag. Or Old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks, guys. There we go. I know, I'm sorry. I was really bad at reading today. Really bad. I was trying my best, dude, but I kept fucking up, like, just basic stuff. Like, I'm trying to read it, but as it's showing up on the screen. Maybe I should just, like, pause before I start reading. But I also don't want to take too long to talk. I wanted to keep it nice and smooth. Though it would be really helpful if there was just voice acting in the game in general, you know? Alright, that's it for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now for some Final Fantasy.